Oh my goodness, I am with an amazing crew today.
Yes, welcome to Monique's Mondays. I'm Meek the Invoice.
This is new Sean Kennedy.
Monique Elliott.
Ransom. Jay Jones. Hood Hope Dealer.
The Hood Hope Dealer, for those who couldn't hear him. We deal all good things all the time. Miss Monique, bring us in, let us know what we're going to talk about today.
I want to welcome you on Monique's Mondays. What we're doing is sitting with individuals and we are discussing really mind, body, and spirit. And so I want to be able to get out with all of us the importance of mind health right now. And this month is March, and it's really Women's Month and Mental Health Month. And so I thought, what better way to start this than to also have the opinions and the experiences of our young men, our seasoned men who are in the community, who also have families, who have been in this field in different ways of giving back,
Yes.
of just being a part of this journey. So I am so happy you're back with us, love, and we're just going to get these questions flowing. We also are excited. It's our first time we're having people come to our studio audience, and so we are really excited about that as well. Right now, we're going to go ahead and get started with some questions, and just seeing, men, how do you handle crises? How do you handle when you're experiencing any type of anxiety or stress? Because I know that's a topic that's often taboo for men. So that's something we're going to delve into today.
Before we dive into that, let's have everybody give a quick overview of who they are and what they do. We know your names, but let's get a little bit of background about what you do in the community. We'll start with you, Jay.
Gotcha. Jay Jones. I consider myself a Hood Hope Dealer. I run several social impact or change initiatives that impact kids with giving away hope. And we use skateboards, bikes, roller skates, beds, and toys as a hope catalyst to impact kids who are underrepresented and vulnerable populations of BIPOC community.
I love that.
Beautiful.
Love it. Larnell Ransom, Hope Dealer. Been serving the community all my life, man, since I got an adult. Started Toys in the Hood with my boy Jay here. We got the Beds in the Hood going. I got the Urban Beast beverage. So community is us.
It's what we do.
It's what we do. So that's the blessing in it all. So just,
I love it. Welcome and thank you. Thank you for what you do for us. Thank you.
I'm gonna go next. My name is new Sean Kennedy. Like I said, I'm a young black man who just recently started their little therapy journey as well. So I'm very excited for this conversation and looking forward to having this convo with young black brothers as well, because I feel like this space isn't really it doesn't happen too often. But I'm also a young entrepreneur as well. I recently just launched a clothing brand called Elated. You see a hoodie that I'm wearing right now. So follow it online, Elated_designs. So as a oldest brother of my family, kind of being a leader, being in the community has been in the household, and then also just going into life as well. So very eager for this conversation, be able to kind of have that with everyone here.
I love it. So let's jump into crises and how do we deal with them? What does your village look like?
Funny that you say that, because today I got the opportunity to put together a panel of people that we all got ACEs trained and certified.
Yes.
It's adverse childhood experiences. And so our generational curses are the things that we endure from familiar experiences affect our lenses and how we see the world, how we deal with the world, and how we cope. And so I've been able to take a look into that. So it's really amazing topic that you're discussing this, because a lot of us have filters. A lot of us either deal with our issues via fight, flight. But it's good that we get to build our own tribes and have protective environments where we get to build our own infrastructure and be able to build a firewall to help us cope and deal with social issues, whatever those developments are that we can't deal with. We are able to build up our own village and tribe and firewall that from the rest of the world. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
So can we get vulnerable and talk maybe about a crisis that you recently had to deal with and what that process looked like?
So with me, like going through last year, losing my father, then my uncle right after that, and then my older brother.
Oh, I'm
So
sorry.
3 people back to back to back, and the good thing is it all, because I have a wife that's a doctor in clinical psychology,
Yes.
so they can recognize like when I need help, when I
Yeah.
need to breathe, you know what I'm saying, when she feel like the weight is on, because she can see it.
Yes.
She's been around with me all my life, but the thing is, you know, the strength in it all, I'm a praying man.
Yes.
What my mama taught me. So I seen my mama pray through everything she went through. So it fell on me. So the times when I knew I was about to crack, I just said, look, God, take the wheel. I need
Yes.
you. So sometimes you just have to recognize like when it's getting too hard, like don't be afraid to advocate.
Yeah.
Because I have a safe space, my wife, you know, so when it was getting hard, baby, I need you. Like, I
Right.
just need that hug.
Right.
And the good thing is that like a while ago, like when I lost my mom 7 years ago, I was blessed that I had my family. Like if I didn't have a wife and kids, I don't know what, you know, I would do. So that's the good thing is having that family to keep you grounded. You know when to hug you. My daughters don't know, you know,
Right.
what I'm going through, but sometimes they just hug you like, yeah, I needed that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yes, and so I love this, and we're going to get to you as well, Nushan, because I want to be able to say, this is amazing. Many men in our communities, and not just our communities, in America, we have been taught what? What have men been taught? And I say we, as far as the community of our men. What have you been taught as young boys?
To suppress your feelings and not deal with them.
To
Be a
su-
man.
To be a man is to what? You
Suppress.
just said, yes, to be a man is to suppress your feelings.
Tough it out.
Tough it out, tough it
Right.
out. So I want us to think about the things that you've been taught, maybe as a young man. What are some of the issues you've had to deal with? And Nushan, can you tell us what brought you out to just go ahead and say, hey, I'm gonna try something new for myself?
Yeah, in terms of any specific situation that triggered that, it wasn't just one thing. It was a combination of what we said earlier. So you're suppressing your emotions, you're suppressing your feelings, and I feel like that's how I was dealing with a bunch of issues. And you can only stuff so far until that box is full and you can't close it anymore, and it just kind of starts it overwhelms you. So when I realized that small things was triggering me and I wasn't reacting how I normally would, that's when I kind of took a step back and realized I feel like I'm not me right now. I don't feel like I'm myself fully. And that's when I'm luckily, thankfully, I ran into Monique at a function, and we just had the instant connection there. But that was kind of the first time where I was able to kind of fully recognize how I was feeling. It felt okay to seek professional help, which I was feeling like, oh, I'm crazy. That's something's wrong with me. I needed help, but you do need help, but not in the ways where I felt was negative based on the stigma that the world was.
For sure.
I love that when you said the word stigma, based on the stigmas, because oftentimes what we find is that stigma keeps us in a box.
Yeah.
So having those stigmas on you all as men began to, and this is very important, men, we have, or as a collective, men have higher, especially black and brown men, heart attack rates. We're also now having higher suicide rates. This is bothering and scaring me because we are suppressing all of this pain.
Right.
And we are too embarrassed, or many times we don't have a community to come to.
Right.
So I want us to feel welcomed with each other. And I love that, brothers, you're here with a younger brother, because the truth is, the blessing, you do have a wife, but what about younger brothers? What about the people that we tend to be around?
Right.
What are those conversations that are we vulnerable, as you often say, baby? Are we vulnerable enough to say, man, are you doing good? Are you good? and being in safe places. So what I mean by safe places is we have to create networks where I'm not embarrassed to talk to you.
Yeah.
Where I'm not thinking you are gonna look at me as less of a man if I say something to you.
So how do we do that? How would you make yourself a safe place?
I think the first part is increasing your emotional IQ. So that is, first of all, understanding your ability, your capacity. And I believe that men have limited themselves by only feeling certain emotions.
That is a word.
I need you to say that again. Yes. Ooh.
So if we come from an infinite source and all good things come from that infinite source, I think we put a limitation. We need to know what anger feels like. We need to understand and be able to process anxiety and disappointment and all of those things. If we don't get the full experience of actually being human and alive.
Right.
And so being able to increase our emotional intelligence gives us the ability to grow and to be more available for the people that we're the kings. And so we need to be more emotionally available for the people that depend on us.
You just made a statement, Jay, and it was so powerful that the king is learning how to be emotionally available. And what do you believe, and this is an open question for all of you, happens to the queen when her king is not emotionally available?
Ooh, that's a deep one. So me being married for 9 years now, I was raised by a strong single mama to be tough, to be manly. But as you get into that relationship, you have to show that weakness at some time. So you can't be afraid to cry. You can't be afraid to like, baby, I need help. So that's what I had to learn. Like if I wanted this marriage like to be successful, which it is, I don't speak divorce, but I have to open up and show her the real me.
Show her what?
The real me.
All right.
So I can't be that tough macho man all the time.
Right.
You know what we was raised to be. So I had to cry in front of her, say I needed help. But some men, that's why divorce rate is so high, because you're not showing her the real you. Because you're afraid to open up because you think she'll call you soft. You ain't the man. You know what I'm saying? But if a woman love you and she's strong enough and she know you the real one, she gonna understand.
Yes,
You know,
and we
so-
don't view tears as weakness, even though we've been taught that. And on a spiritual level, I always say, Jesus wept. That's a one verse, period. He wept. And strong men weep. Because guess what? Kings is gonna keep you alive longer. We want you on this earth with us. And tears water the heart. Tears water the soul so that that soil can get softened up and it doesn't become a rock. So it's very important that we begin to change that narrative, right? For even our children to come and for our nephews and nieces, all of this. And so that even we as women are talking to our young sons saying, hey baby, it's okay to cry. You know what, it's okay to cry. Because what happens is that teaches him how to be emotionally available. What do you believe happens to a queen when she does not have an emotionally available king?
I think as someone who grew up with a single parent mom, I feel like that really, and from my perspective, it really hardens them up to be independent and strong and not that space to be able to be as loving because she has to take on so much and have so much control over her emotions and over some stuff that's not in her control. So I feel like it really makes it tough to where, you know, we're trying to open up and get to that point where they're also, we're taught to be strong as well and independent from the lack of emotional availability that they've also experienced as well.
Absolutely.
So it's a struggle, I feel like, with power in certain relationships now, especially in this day and age here.
Definitely a power struggle, and I've seen that because you have this dynamic where the traditional dynamic is the man is the man and the woman is the woman. Not to say that traditional is wrong, but as we mature as humans, we have to understand that the stigmas that come with, because you said I have to show weakness, and I really want to encourage all of us to change the narrative within ourselves. We have to change how we even speak to ourselves. You have to learn how to be vulnerable. You have to learn how to be transparent, not weak, because it's not weak. Sharing your emotions actually is, it's very, you have to be really, really brave, and I really like to compare it to a creative, you know. I don't know who it was, but they were like, I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit. Like when you put when you put things out there for people to judge, you're probably gonna be judged, but you have to be okay and you have to surround yourself with good soil. Because what does good soil breed?
Good fruit.
Fruit.
But also
We
good
grow.
fruit.
We get fruit. Yes, and that fruit is happier marriages. That fruit is better bosses. That fruit is greater communities where we're not hurting each other.
Right.
Because a lot of that pain is coming actually from old pain. Things we do to people as grown-ups, as adults, is really a residue many times of pain that was done to us when we were little. And we carry that stuff, right? So it will manifest. It will come out. It may not come out today, but it will show up. And most of the time it's showing up on people that have nothing to do with the problem.
And that perpetuates the cycle. So then you get into a situation where, well, I was raised by a single mom and maybe I didn't necessarily get all the love that I could have. Had she even had an elder, a man to help, to be emotionally available, to show you these things, because now I have to be the mom and the dad, and I have to choose between nurturing and being a disciplinarian so that you don't go buck wild. And now I get into a relationship where, well, I'm used to being the man, so what am I supposed to do now?
Yes, but the thing is, you can never be the man. Therein is the harder part. You can never be the man for what you were designed. I remember years ago I was talking to someone and they were saying, oh, you're soft on the children. I said, because they have a father who can be the father to them. I don't have to be a father. And the truth is, my softness really isn't soft. They say I'm harder on them than the daddy was. It's a structure. I give hugs, I kiss my babies, but then there's this structure. And so when we're looking at that and when we're talking about that, I want us to think about, do any of you have daughters or have nieces? And how do you deal with your daughters or nieces as far as a man?
So I got two daughters, and 11 months apart, 8 and 7. And
You're not there yet.
I think they made me softer.
Okay.
I think they made me softer because I'm like, I can't hit my daughters. I allow my wife to do it because I don't want them to get used to a man hitting them. So like even like if I raise my voice like, I feel bad, and my wife can't be like, you feel bad, huh? so like I think I'm softer with them. I talk to them more.
Yes.
Than like the yelling, or if I do yell, I have to sit back like, dang, babe, I messed up. Because I don't want them to get used to it. Like go through life like somebody gotta yell at me. Somebody gotta somebody gotta hit me
To get attention.
to get attention
That's a
or
word.
communicate.
That's a
with me.
word.
So like I have, so now like having a newborn son, like even going through life, I'm gonna be the same way with the girls because I want him to be vulnerable. I want him to feel that be okay with crying. So I'm not gonna be the dad like, man, you better get together, punching you in the chest like that ain't me. So the same approach with the girls I'm gonna do with the young kids.
Oh, so excited.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
so I think the girls make you softer.
I love it. I love it. How about you, Jay?
I'm in the same category. My daughters broke my heart. They've allowed me to like look at like being a man and being faced with the question, would I want my daughter to be with a man like me?
Ooh.
That's a hard question.
Ooh.
And so early on, I had to. It's a self-reflective one because eventually they will.
Right.
And so I had to address a lot of the character flaws, a lot of the, and it was a gradual process, but it was a process that I was willing to look in the mirror and do. So I think that's an important question for every man. If you're the father of daughters, and if you're not, don't make excuses, make adjustments in order to be that man.
And for someone, I don't know if I'm having kids that I now know of. But and
Don't y'all be trying to come out the woodwork either because you got a successful
please
don't say that.
But that question, you know, where are you the type of person that your daughter you want to be with? I was kind of having that same question with, am I the type of man that the woman that I would want to be with? Am I matching up to that? And it took some real serious self-reflection to realize a lot of those boxes that the woman that I would want, connecting it to the type of man that she would be looking for. I'm like, why not? Here I am trying to look for this, and I'm not even ready in the position to have that type of woman, to have that type of relationship, and to be able to cherish her the way that I should. So, in the same vein, daughter to any woman, basically, or any type of man that deserves her, basically.
I think that's a part where you have to go into a place preparing yourself to be a husband. Women are in a place to prepare themselves to be a wife. There's a Bible verse that says, he who finds a wife finds a good thing. And so you have to prepare yourself to be that good thing for her as well.
Come on, y'all spitting
Oh,
some words. Y'all spitting some words. This is beautiful.
And I tell myself all the time, like to my wife, like I don't deserve you. You're a blessing, you know, because like when you do that reflection, like every man do, you be like, dang, like you a top shelf woman. You know what I'm saying? So I need to elevate myself and be that top shelf man.
Yeah.
So like, you know, that's just work in progress. You know what I'm saying? Like every woman ain't a top shelf woman.
Right.
You have to get to that top shelf level.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying?
and I want to say this real quick. It is not your job to get her there.
Get her there.
And I have seen that many men will date or marry a woman and want to make her something that she is not.
Right.
And vice versa. A woman is marrying an expectation. Don't marry expectations. Don't marry what you're hoping will happen.
Right.
You have to know that person's character now. Will we grow? Yes. All of us grow as we age many times at different stages.
Right.
But that is that emotional growth, right? That emotional maturity that comes into this. Well, thank you for joining us. I cannot wait to be with you again. I just want you to know, first, it's okay to cry. I don't care if you're male, female. I don't care what your orientation. I want you to know that you are human, that you are loved, that God has a purpose for you, that He can direct you to whatever it is that you need. Don't do it alone. You were born for a reason. I want you alive. I want you well. The world needs you.
Everybody needs a little piece of